What's going on, everybody? Look, on today's episode, will the real world champion please stand up? U.S. track star Noah Lyles has some interesting opinions on the NBA.
Oh, and then we got Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney talking real greasy. When will this fight happen? These cats out here talking like we can take it to the streets.
Look. First, low blow or no?
Hmm.
Usyk versus Dubois. How low can you go?
Hey,
How low
hello.
can
Can
you
you
go?
go?
Look, man, let's talk about this limbo boxing match. All right,
Woo!
stay tuned.
Hey, yo, y'all stay tuned. Y'all find out more. We getting ready to rock. What up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Bridge Now.
I feel like busting loose, busting loose. Give me the bridge now. I feel like busting loose now.
There's only because in boxing, one punch can change it, no matter who you are, no matter how good you are.
I love her because she from the hood though. From the hood though. She like really from the hood.
Loose make you feel fine. Talking about busting loose.
That Doc said Nate will never live that down. No, he won't. But it's not about it's about how he gets up.
They doing that. They doing that Wakanda scene when they was just like,
It's about your heart because you can get knocked down so many times and people can make fun of you, but it's about their resilience.
Look, welcome to another great episode of Ringside with Ray and Prince, where we look to educate you, entertain you, and empower you. Make sure that you hit that like and that subscribe button and share this channel with the people that you care about the most. Other than that, let's go ahead and jump into the show. Ray, what's going on, baby? How you doing?
Man, let's jump into it, man. We got a low blow situation. Somebody said they hit me below the belt, but it didn't look like that. Oleksandr Usyk fought Daniel Dubois on Saturday, and there was a low blow in the fifth round. Usyk said he needed time to recover. It didn't look like it was a low blow, though. Everybody said, man, you got a problem. He went on to finish Dubois in the ninth round with a short right hand, but the Ukrainian has been criticized as there's speculation that the blow wasn't low.
Ray, what's considered as a low blow in boxing?
I'm gonna take my glasses off for this.
Ooh.
Traditionally, below the navel is considered a low blow. You know, you have boxers that always try to game the system by pulling their trunks up super high, and the referee would normally before the match say, like, I'm going to consider this a low blow. Like, you got your trunks up real high because you can be like Steve Urkel and put your trunks all the way up to your chest. You're like, oh, that's a low blow.
Did I do that?
No, Slim, that's not a deal. That's not real.
Wow.
So they have the rules set for a reason. It looked like a belt line punch to me. It looked like it hit him right in a spot where it took the wind out of him, and he wasn't able to recover. But I think Dubois was robbed. You had some people that took it to like almost like the NFL thing and took the line and say, "Here's the line with the little green line," and say, "This is it." But if you got to get that technical for a punch in boxing, man, I think we're losing the whole game. Like we should know a good body shot when you see it, which I thought personally it was a good body shot.
Man, didn't something like that happen between Usyk and Anthony Joshua in Saudi Arabia, where Anthony Joshua hit him with an uppercut, and it was the same referee. Now I peeped that it was the same referee in the Dubois fight and Anthony Joshua fight, and it looked like he just gave him some time to rest up, recover, and come back in. And Usyk always ends up winning the fight after that. So it seems like there's a little trend going on. I don't know, man, but does Usyk have like a glass stomach? Glass groin area? What's going on with him?
I don't know. I think we're gonna get a lot of response for this because folks like, is that the navel? But the Anthony Joshua punch wasn't that in the fifth round too?
That was in the fifth round.
He got the same situation happening in the fifth round. He get caught in the belly and he like,
seeing some similarities, man. Same round. Like it's going down. I don't know what's going on.
It was close. And so here's one of the things that they talk about is that because like the cup comes up at this spot, and then anything below the navel is really like very sensitive area. So if you hit there, you can raise the cup up to make it have that same kind of response as you would if you hit straight in the man parts.
I don't know if he raised it that high, to get hit that low. So we're gonna have to see, man. You know what? I want to know if Tyson Fury is taking note, and if so, he's a smart fighter. What do you think is gonna happen if Tyson Fury and Usyk fight?
Man, I mean, what happens to everybody that Tyson Fury fights? He gonna punish him.
He gonna punish him.
Tyson Fury is a cut above. I think Usyk is tough, but I think he's really still one dimensional. And I think boxing skill of Tyson Fury will be way too much for him to handle, man. And I think Usyk would be outclassed against Tyson Fury, and that's not a knock on him. It's just the fact that Tyson Fury is a cut above everybody else. Yeah, so the uppercut. Yeah, that's a problem.
I can't wait to see that fight, man, between Usyk and Fury. If it does happen, it would be very interested to see how Fury targets the body, which he's really good at. But one fight that doesn't look like it's going to happen is your boy, Mr. Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney, which is, they're talking greasy right now, man. It's a real shame right now. I want to know what's going on, man. Let's talk about that, because the latest update was the WBC president. He confirmed that negotiations for the WBC lightweight title bout between Shakur Stevenson and Frank Martin are underway after Lomachenko and Isaac Cruz both declined on offer to fight Shakur for the vacant belt. So, like, what's going on, man? Well, we had your brother on here, Sugar Shane Mosley. He had a couple of words to say.
Man, I think the whole thing is that nobody wants to really see Shakur. Like, they are making all kinds of complaints about how not to fight this cat. Lomachenko don't want to see him. Isaac Cruz, he'd be totally outclassed against Shakur. That's not even the thing. Devin Haney talking real greasy about, here, we gonna fight outside. If I see you in the streets, it's on. It's like, shoot, if you gonna fight me in the street, you might as well fight me for 25% and go ahead and beat me up in the ring. But I mean, the fight that we all want to see is Shakur versus Devin Haney.
Yeah, definitely, man. Look, we had Sugar Shane on, and I saw a clip of him, and he said that Haney is apprehensive on fighting Stevenson. If he wasn't, he would give him that 30 to 40% of the purse. And he said this: when boxers put business before the boxing, the fight never happens. So it's time for us to start going back to the old days where anyone can get it anytime, any place. Like my man Adrian Brunner says, anybody can get it.
Hey, you gonna have to make sure my bag right though. I mean, I don't care. I mean, how much I know I'm gonna beat you up. You still gonna have to make sure my bag right. I ain't just gonna go in there and just be fighting for no reason.
Right. Because I've been wondering, why has Stevenson been turning down the 25% bag that Haney presented to him?
Because he's a draw. And even though that the WBC rules say that here, like, you gonna come in and the champion gets the 75%, especially if the undisputed champion gets the 75%, and you can go up against whoever the challenger is gets 25%. The rules are meant to be moved if you really want the fight to happen. And so if you really want the fight to happen, give the man at least a little fair shake. Give him 40%. Do a 60-40. I mean, 65-35. I mean, whatever it's going to be to make it happen. And then, if the scales flip on the next one. But, like, man, 25 on this joint. Or at least bet me. At least bet me your purse.
So as we're discussing these fighters and they securing the bag and making the most of the situation, I feel like we had to talk about the massive news that emerged out of the MMA this past week, man. Look, the PFL have announced strategic partnership with the Saudi Arabia's SRJ Sports Investments, who will be investing more than, I said, 100 million into the PFL. 100 million into the PFL, according to a report from Sportico. The report also states that Saudi Arabia will underwrite a substantial amount of PFL pay-per-view events and move the events to Saudi Arabia, where they can control all aspects of the promotion and production. Are big names like Francis Ngannou and Jake Paul the reason the PFL was picked by the Saudis? What's up, man? Talk to me, man. You definitely do glorify Mr. Jake Paul, the young Jake Paul, man. Is he doing big
I love
things?
what the kid is doing, man. He's out there. He's making sure that the fighters are getting paid in this MVP boxing, right? He's making sure that they're getting paid like what they're worth. He's over in the PFL, dabbling in the MMA space and making money for the fighters over there. This is, a historic deal for someone outside of the UFC to be making a 9-figure deal with another entity. And so, if you look at it from that standpoint, he's changing the game. He's being disruptive. He's not allowing this monopoly to happen with a certain one industry.
I love the PFL athletes, and they are going to start getting paid what they're worth, man. But we got somebody else that's doing some business that could get a little risky out here, man. And I don't know what's happening, but for their free time, have you heard Jaylen Brown? He played in the Big Three All-Star game in London this past week. All right.
Man, Ice Cube said, y'all set it off. Today was a good day.
Look, ooh, look, Jaylen Brown, he just signed that max deal for 5 years, $304 million with that extension with the Boston Celtics. He signed this big deal, and now, if you recall, Ice Cube was having some controversy with the NBA behind the scenes, and nobody knew about it. And so now Jaylen Brown is one of the few players that has spoken up. I think he's the president for the NBPA Players Association, and he actually took the initiative to go out there and support Ice Cube on his free time. When any player steps out of line, it seems like the NBA kind of like, check him. In this incident, I don't know what's happening, but Jaylen Brown was able to get away with it. Is there any restrictions in his contract that restrict him from doing these type of things? And how do you think Adam Silver feels about this?
I'm gonna have to sip my tea for this one.
Hey, man.
This is one of them transformational moments, man, where you got a guy in Ice Cube who creates a league that was not getting any support, that actually got pushed back from the National Basketball Association because they don't like competitors. None of these big leagues, NFL, they don't really like competitors. And Ice Cube is like, here, we are add-on to you. We give an opportunity for former players to be in here and playing, and cats that may not have made it to come and show their skill set.
Right.
So they said, okay, you can go ahead and keep it moving.
Yeah.
But they never thought that current players would go out here and be playing in another situation. From a black man running the black league. Which is causing a little bit of deterrent and issue. So Jaylen Brown being one of the highest contracts in NBA history to go over and say, look, I'm going to go ahead and be a part of this little situation that you call the Big Three right now. I'm just doing it in an all-star game. So he's going around whatever contractual things that the NBA is saying that you can't do. It's an exhibition. So I know they're not trying to diss him from going to an exhibition because it's playing in his sport. But the reality of it is he is offering something different that folks are scared to death of, and he's going to change the game. It might be a problem. So let's keep it moving.
As we move on to our last topic, we thought we had to go in depth and discuss this comment made by the track star Noah Lyles this past week regarding the NBA. Look, I don't know if you heard, I'll preface you. So Noah Lyles, after he won the gold medal in Budapest, Hungary, he did say that, the thing that really hurts me the most is that I have to watch the NBA finals and they have world champion on their head, meaning when they're dubbed world champion. And the world champion of what? The United States? Oh, so it didn't sit well with some of the basketball players that got a lot of free time right now because basketball season is not in, and they felt like that was a jab. right? And so, and not only did the basketball players feel like that, but also Trey, he came in and started singing, and he had to come in as well. And so they felt that he undermined their talent and what they represent. But if you can recall, Greg Popovich in 2010 said there are no world champions in the NBA. So anybody that has the flag up that says world champions is not correct. It's not appropriate. The world champions, I believe, are the Spanish team right now. USA is the Olympic champions. The Lakers are the NBA champions. So, man, like talk to me about this, because Sha'Carri Richardson, she did come back in second, no allow, and say that they are the world champions because they had to face people across different borders and different countries, and they come from different parts of the world. So whenever you can win a gold medal amongst all the people in the world, then you become the world champion. What do you think on this one, Ray?
That's a whole situation to me. You talking about saying an NBA team is not a world champion. What other team overseas is going to beat the world champions in the NBA? So if you can't beat us, then we're world champions. So all that nonsense they talking about, yeah, because they won the World Championship League when the NBA players, they put like their backups in. If we put our best players, our best NBA players, that's just from the U.S. against all the players against across the in one different country, then you see what happened every time. We go win the gold medal
all the time.
Almost every time. I mean, I can't say every single time because we've lost and we haven't when we didn't have a dream team.
Definitely struggled.
But if we put our dream team, our U.S. guys together, we gonna go win every single time. So that is world champion stuff to me. I mean, hey, I love what they're talking about, trying to put it together. No allows, do your thing, stay in your lane. Over there. And you was in lane 4. Sha'Carri Richardson stayed in lane 9 when she was out there and won her thing. So stay in your lane and win your race against whoever you're going against. But don't start talking about the NBA being second fiddle or not being world champion, because it's the best league in the game for playing that sport. And the NFL goes over and plays somebody, NFL Super Bowl champion. They wouldn't play teams overseas. They'd be world champions too.
Right. Now you're right. You're right. The proof is in the pudding. That's all we got to say, man. I hope that you all are enjoying this episode. Make sure that you hit that like and that subscribe button. But for now, we're going to bring in one of your favorite analysts. She's going to talk about the upcoming NFL season. You already know who she is, Miss Ashley Ross. Let's bring in Ash. What's going on?
Hey, y'all.
Welcome back. Welcome back. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to unpack and unfold. As you know, the NFL season is coming up, and you are here. We had to bring you on the show because you are one of the best. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Ray, you got anything to say? Obviously, Ray got a lot to say. You know, he's made a statement without making a statement.
To be honest, Ray is in my top tier, upper echelon Cowboy fans out here. Like he probably has like the slippers, the socks, the do-rag. Like he's Cowboy down out here.
Oh,
she said the do-rag.
Oh, I got my lip gloss too. My chapstick, not my lip gloss, my chapstick.
He said it right. You said it right, Ray. Lip gloss.
His Cowboy lip gloss is popping.
Right, with stars and sprinkles.
It's Jerry Jones's tears for all the losses over the years. It's made out of Jerry's tears.
Y'all won't be saying that when we win the Super Bowl.
That's what y'all say every
year. Man, you talking about winning the Super Bowl. Let's jump right into it. You already know. Ash, the last time we had you on the show, what did we talk about? We spoke about the running backs. This is before preseason began. Now we here. Now the NFL season is about to begin. What's going on with this running back crew? What's going on with the running backs around the league? Like, talk to us. Did you see what happened with Jonathan Taylor? Like the coach just gave him permission to go and seek a trade. And obviously it's not working. I think they put him on a PUP list. And right now that means that they wasn't able to find, well, first, he's not able to play the first 4 games, and they were not able to seek a trade that was worthy of the running back that they had. And now that forces him to sit out. He only gets paid the base salary. He doesn't get a chance to reach his milestones and to make more money. So they're messing with his money. They're messing with his game. Like, what's going on? Talk to us about that.
I think if I'm Jonathan, this isn't 100% unexpected, because if you're another team looking at this situation, right? I'm not necessarily going to be willing to give up first rounders when I know the relationship between you and your running back is obviously soured. So let me wait this out a little bit to where, is he going to come off the pup list in 4 weeks? Is he going to continue on? Like, I would, if I'm another team, I'm seeing how this situation plays out a little bit before I'm just giving, a boatload of draft picks, because you might end up getting him for way less than I'm sure the Colts want right now.
Well, that's like if Jay-Z don't want Beyonce anymore. It's like, hey, look, you can go ahead and try to mark it out and see what happens out there. But I'm not gonna let
But
you.
you ain't gonna find another Beyonce out here.
I don't think you're gonna find another Jonathan Taylor though. Like this cat was arguably the MVP of the league 2 years ago.
Well, the Colts, I mean, the whole way that this whole situation went down, to be a fly on the wall when that initial meeting between Jim Irsay and Jonathan Taylor went down, where the whole trade request got jumped off, that's what I would want to know, because it seems like whatever transpired in that meeting, I don't know if something was said or just whatever came out of that has literally laid the foundation of this dominoes that we're in right now. And I think with Jonathan Taylor, he just needs to kind of sit and wait it out, right? He is the prize. He is one of the top running backs in the league. So even though, yes, the position is currently being devalued, he's still a guy that has a value in a market. Now, what that's going to look like, I think as the weeks go on, obviously guys get hurt. Certain guys don't work out the way you think they would. This is a situation we're going to continue to see unfolding.
Man, but how do you, as a running back and as a man, play for a team that has put a sour taste in your mouth, and now you need to play the rest of the year with these teammates that you haven't created a bond with, because you had to ostracize yourself because you're not getting paid? So from a business standpoint, you can pout all you want to, but from like a camaraderie standpoint with your teammates, it's going to be hard to gel and play with those guys. As the season goes on. So how does he continue this journey that he's on?
I think enough NFL players understand the business aspect, right? So from watching Hard Knocks in season, it seems like Jonathan Taylor, from all accounts, is a really stand-up good dude. His teammates liked him. I think he got really good gifts for the linemen and other people last year. So he seems like a good dude in the locker room. So if I'm another teammate, I understand, look, he's trying to get his money. And if he can get his money, that only bodes well for me in the future when my contract gets up, because he fought for his money. So I don't have to necessarily fight as hard when my contract time comes up. What I do think is he does need to play when he is able, because he still needs to show his body of work and prove his worth to his next organization. If that's ultimately what he wants to do, he does need to continue to show that, hey, yes, I've been a little injured. Yes, this kind of situation is going on with the Colts, but I can still perform at a high level, because no one's going to want to dive draft picks, money, all of this stuff on a guy that they might be a little iffy about what his current production value is going to be.
Like, how does that happen that quick? Because he had a couple injuries. Like, they weren't like devastating injuries to keep him out, like big ACL or nothing like that to tear you down. But man, how does that happen?
Well, I think you look at it on the flip side too, right? It's also the market value. So he just is in a time right now where his market value and the running back market value is just not there. I mean, you look at the wide receivers. I remember when Michael Thomas got his $100 million contract, and at the time I was like, oh my gosh, this is such a huge contract. Now that's kind of like a standard pace, because the wide receiver position again is being more emphasized. It's an offensive driven league. So it's kind of ebbs and flows. I do think that it hopefully will swing. He just is in the crosshairs right now.
Speaking about somebody that's not in the crosshairs, we got your man. Somebody that just got paid is Josh Jacobs, man. And he returned back to Las Vegas. This is something that we were talking about as well. He just signed a 1-year deal for $12 million. Look, the owner, Mark Davis, is saying that he's thrilled. I love him. He's phenomenal. We
I bet
need
he does.
more, more Josh Jacobs. And before, he wasn't willing to pay the man. Now he want to talk really good about him. I think that's a good political.
But did he though? I mean, he paid this guy for 1 year. Like it's like a rental. Like, I'm just going to use you for this year and see what happens.
He got a little Rolls Royce, on the lease plan.
I'm gonna pay a little extra to make sure I get my Ferrari out here and see what it does. But if
I'm leasing him,
you perform in the same way that I expect you to perform every single time, then I'm gonna trade you in for something else. And so maybe John Taylor might have an opportunity next year.
I'm so glad that the Raiders did this. And the Raiders knew that they had to do this at least for 1 year because, like I said the last time I was on, this offense is designed with Josh Jacobs in mind. And Bill Belichick, even though he's not there, it dang near should be the Las Vegas Patriots because it's just a Patriot blueprint in Las Vegas. So they want to rely on the running game. Jimmy G, we love Jimmy G, but we know what Jimmy G is. He's not going to be that dude. So you're going to need the running game to be able to manage and get those, short down situations. So I think that this is a great move for the Raiders and for Josh Jacobs because, yes, his deal is worth up to $12 million. Also, he again gets to put on tape that, hey, if you don't want me, trust me, there will be plenty of teams that are coming calling for his skill set. He is a great, downhill back. There'll be plenty of teams if the Raiders do not want to sign him to a longer deal next season that are going to be calling him.
Well, I hope so because, the running back market is messed up. So we'll see.
I think Ashley might be drafting Josh Jacobs in fantasy football this year.
You know what? I have in my mock drafts had my eye on Josh Jacobs. If I see a Josh Jacobs, if I see, fantasy is kind of tough because it could go either way. Like you could get a top-notch dude. There's injury. There's all kinds of factors. So yeah, if Josh Jacobs is there when I'm drafting, he might be in my first round.
Well, we're going to see. We're going to see. Speaking of first rounds, did you see that a first round 2021 pick went for a fourth round? Now, I don't know if you know who we're talking about, but for everybody that's listening, we're talking about Trey Lance, all right? and Ray right now is sipping his coffee in a way where as if he's drinking some cognac or something, man. Look, the 49ers have traded Trey Lance to the Dallas Cowboys for a fourth round pick. Please talk your right now, Ashley. What's going on? Was that a good deal for the 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys, or was this just one-sided?
I think it works out for both sides. Now, on paper, no one is going to say, hey, you gave up 3 first rounders to get this guy and he played how many snaps and now you're already shipping him off for a fourth rounder. Of course, on paper, it doesn't look good. But when you look at the 49ers, they're still a stout team. I mean, no one expected Brock Purdy to be that dude. I mean, he was Mr. Irrelevant and he became relevant. Then even last season, they were able to trade for C-Mac. The defense has some dogs. Offensively, you got Kittle, you got Debo. Like, this is a team that even though on paper they messed up this trade, they'll be able to recover and be just fine. Now, Dallas, I absolutely love this move because what it tells me, if you're Dallas, is I'm not necessarily trying to move off Dak, but I want Dak to feel just a little pressure. Like, when you stand by, like a burner, like don't touch the burner, but just enough heat to know that it's on. To me, this is Dallas turning their burner on a little bit. Like, Dak, we know we paid you, but here's a guy, younger, a different skill set. He might be a little bit of a project, but if you don't perform in the way that we think you can, we got Trey in the wings. And, I know people love Cooper Rush, but he's not a franchise guy. And Dallas, Ray, Dallas is a place you've got to have a guy that not only can be a great quarterback, but can be a franchise person that you see on the Campbells, that you see on the sleep train. And Trey Lance could be that guy.
I think it's a phenomenal thing. A young kid that came in, he hasn't played a lot. He didn't have a long college career or a long high school career. And he gets the opportunity to come learn behind somebody who is as a veteran who has went through the ups and downs, and he gets a chance to learn. And we have probably another star in the waiting. So, I mean, I'm excited about where we are. The only thing that bothers me, though, is that Jerry Jones said nobody knew that this trade was happening until it actually happened. Not even the coach. They didn't tell Mike McCarthy. They ain't tell nobody. They just went in there, made the deal, and said, "Hey, we gonna get Trey Lance and bring him in." If I'm like that, I'm like, hold on, like, how you gonna bring my girlfriend on a field trip when my wife is here? Like, what is that? What is that about, man? So, I mean, if that, you said, Ashley, if you're putting him toward the fire, like, he understands that if you ain't playing well, we putting something behind you that might be an option for us. So, get it together, young man. Go win the Super Bowl, and then we can have a conversation after that, which we will win the Super Bowl this year.
So okay, well let's throw the brakes on the Super Bowl. You know, y'all been saying that since the 90s, and it's been a 20-something year drought. I look at it of you don't just get this guy to just get this guy. It wasn't like some unknown. Like you knew the media attention that was going to come with getting him, and you know that we've talked about Dak, the interception. So to me, Dallas making this move, they're not naive to how media works. Like Jerry is a media savant, give him credit. He's a media savant. So to me, you making this move shows me that you knew exactly what you were doing. And again, you wanted to turn up that heat a little bit.
It's blatant. It's blatant. It's like, here, I'm just putting it right out in front of your face. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. If you don't perform, if you don't do what's expected of you, then we're going to replace you. And it wasn't subtle at all. The fact that they didn't tell anybody else, that Dak has to find out from the media, like everybody, like we all did, that somebody else, you signed a number 3 overall pick and Dak was a second rounder. Come on. Like, that is not subtle at all. And I actually like the move from Jerry Jones because, I mean, Dak does need something to say here. Stop throwing interceptions. Play within yourself. Use the game like you need to use the game. Like rely on the running game. We have a phenomenal defense, and stop trying to play hero.
You know what move I would love for Dallas to make, tying in this whole running back conversation? A team that came to mind when this whole Jonathan Taylor situation has been unfolding. I feel like Dallas needs to take a playbook from the Rams and be in a win now, and they need to say, look, let's go out, get Jonathan Taylor, because I understand Pollard. Yes, he was better than Zeke last year, but to me, I don't know that he is my primary back that's going to lead me to the finish line where I want to go. And that's no disrespect to Pollard. It's just, I mean, there's only a few guys that are really in that position. To me, if Dallas made the move and were able to get Jonathan Taylor, that makes them so much more interesting to me. Plus, you're competing in the NFC East. You've got Philly, who was just in the Super Bowl. You've got the Giants, who are probably going to be better. Like, you need to be able to make strides in this division. And I feel like Jonathan Taylor would be that missing piece to really take Dallas over the edge.
I like it. Hold up. Hey, Jerry, look, Ashley just gave some real good information. So I need you to go ahead and get Jonathan Taylor right now. All right? Look it up. No, they don't want to move to Indianapolis. Okay. All right, cool. All right, we're good.
So we should, you know what, how they always joke about the script. I'm going to predict that JT to the Dallas Cowboys occurs. The trade deadline is October 31st. I'm going to say October 15th.
Ooh,
you know what? If this comes back, we will. That's the script copy that I got.
Week 1 is coming up. We got some great matchups. Once a Raven, always a Raven. So So I'm going with the Ravens. Week 1, we're going to beat the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans have a young quarterback. They got their rookie quarterback starting. CJ Stroud, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
That's correct. And so he's going to go out there and learn the game while the Ravens are going to beat him. This is a warm-up game for them. And then after that, we go ahead and jump into the season and start playing some games that really matter. But for right now, we're going to get a dub. So that's a good matchup for me. I'm looking forward.
You said a warm-up game?
This is a warm-up game.
Man. This is the first game. You said it's a warm-up game because Houston has a young quarterback.
Most definitely. I don't see him being able to manage the game. Look, there's a pace for preseason. There's a pace for the regular season, and then there's a different pace for the playoffs, and a whole nother level when it comes to the Super Bowl. So so right now he's going to come out the blocks ready to go. But man, once the Ravens put that pressure on him, I think he's going to throw a couple of interceptions. He's going to have a couple of fumbles, just rookie jitters and And after that, right, he'll learn from it and he'll go on to next week. But the Ravens got this one in the bag. I'm just throwing up a W right now. Here we go. All right, y'all go ahead.
Jameis, like eat the dust.
West Side.
Well, I know, Prince, that you're already set on your Ravens beating the Houston Texans, but the first game to kick off the NFL season, the 2023 season, is going to be the Lions-Chiefs, and that is a matchup that I'm really excited to watch because I feel like the Lions are like this young team with energy and, a lot of heart, a lot of grit, and then obviously you have the Chiefs, who are the Chiefs. They're the reigning Super Bowl champs. They're atop the mountain. I think this is going to be a really good matchup. I think this is going to be a close game. I don't know if I'm on upset alert just yet, but the Chiefs sometimes can have little lulls in their play. So I am excited to see this game. And I think it'll be a good litmus test for Detroit of like how good they really are going into the season.
Great call. I'm making my pick right now. Upset alert. I got the Lions.
Okay.
What?
Kansas City Chiefs.
You know what? Shout out to my boy Walter Mosley. He's a great entertainment lawyer. He is a Lions fan, and it's so funny that one season where the Lions didn't win a game till week 15, 16. Every week I text him Walter, is this going to be the week? He's like, no, Ashley, I've been a Lions fan my whole life. This is not going to be the week.
This is it. I got they got a good young receiving squad. They got Golf out there throwing the ball around. They got a good running back crew. The Lions weren't bad last year.
No, I mean they were a game out from almost making the playoffs.
Yeah, they got a good squad, man, and you never know how you come off that Super Bowl high to come back that next season. You've seen it so many times. Teams try to come back off the Super Bowl season and just not do what they were supposed to do. They still have Patrick Mahomes over there, so they're always going to be in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
And Travis Kelce.
I think they will take a step back this year. I think
so? I don't, because with Andy Reid and their, what told me that they weren't going to take a step back was The Quarterback on Netflix. That is a great documentary if anybody wants to watch that. Yep. I mean, I thought Patrick Mahomes was that dude before I watched that. After I was like, oh, he be trash talking, his work ethic. I mean, he was legit. Another week one matchup that is really intriguing to me is Denver versus the Raiders. So I'm really looking at that one because it's going to see, well, what is Russell Wilson under Sean Payton? Was that just a fluke last year? And with the Raiders is, last season, I think for both teams, last season didn't go the way that you wanted. So I think this is a big statement game for both sides coming into week one. But week one is also hard to judge because no one really plays in preseason. So I feel like week one, it's horrible tackling. You're still getting out the kinks. So it's kind of, you can't really fully judge a team what they're going to be in week one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's your favorite matchup week one, Prince?
I already said the Ravens and the Houston Texans. I don't have to repeat myself. Like I told you, the Ravens are going to win.
That's going to be their fourth preseason game. He's like, we're treating it like a preseason game.
One of my most intriguing matchups is the 49ers and the Steelers. You look at Steelers with the new quarterback, new receiving core. Like they are a hot young team. I think they have all the makings of somebody that's going to be scary to play. And then the 49ers just coming off of just being super close to making it to the big game and having a new quarterback or whatever they're going to do. I don't even know what they're doing at quarterback, but they have, the makings of a team that could compete with the Cowboys in the NFC. So we will see. I think that's going to be a big one. I think that's going to show and tell what's going to happen with these young cats off the start.
No, I'm intrigued by the Steelers and Kenny Pickett. I like Kenny from what I saw last season. And I mean, obviously your rookie season, there's growing pains, there's this and that. So I'm excited to see what he looks like. And, Deontay Johnson is a great receiver. I had him in fantasy a couple years back. Like he's a solid receiver. They obviously got Najee Harris, so I think the Steelers might shock a few people out here.
Pickens is crazy. The receiver for Steelers, I saw him make some plays in preseason. It's preseason, but still, this cat was, I think, his second year. He's going to be phenomenal. And then we have the big game on Monday night. You have your guy, like you got Jared Allen versus what's his name? Aaron Rodgers. Anybody remember him?
Mm-hmm.
The Jets.
Josh calling Aaron Rodgers like young buck versus old gun. That to me, what is so intriguing about this, because I've been watching Hard Knocks, and I feel like every time you watch Hard Knocks, they always make you believe like this team, it's going to be their year. They're going to go to the Super Bowl. Like they're on some cowboy type hype machine, right?
They always lose though.
Well, and so do the Cowboys, right? While you say that, so do the Cowboys.
Great comeback, ass.
What I want to find out with the Jets, because I feel like this Hard Knocks has been an Aaron Rodgers is a great dude, and the media has misjudged him, and all that's great, fine and dandy. All he really needs to impress is his teammates and the people that he's around. My question is, when that line is not picking up the blocks the way that they need to, I want to see his personality when everything is not kumbaya and, you're not going full force, in practice. And you're really, I know that the Buffalo Bills, they're going to want to get after him. So I am very interested to see how he responds to the situation not going according to the script.
Man, we have to drop the mic on that one, because that was it. So we're gonna see if it's a hard knock life for Aaron Rodgers and the Jets, man. But it's gonna be looking good on Week 1, Monday Night Football. We are tuned in, we are locked and loaded, and we're ready to go.
I will be in Cabo.
You're gonna be in Cabo watching the game too, sipping the martini. Hello,
Ray. You need to the only way that the Cowboys stand a chance is you need to call up that man on your jersey, Mr. Primetime Deion Sanders, and ask Deion if he will take a break from Colorado for a week and come back to the squad. Other than that, y'all ain't winning the season.
Look, Deion already has his hands full in Colorado and doing his thing.
Shout out to Prime.
Right, shout out to Prime, baby. Must be the money.
Must be the money.
Ringside with Ray and Prince, and we adding Ashley on here to talk about the NFL season. So make sure that y'all stay tuned. Ash, thank you so much for your time. Make sure that you guys go and follow Ash. As you can see, her handle at Ashley Ross 3 at the end, because she is the best, right? You already know. So be sure to tune in next time when she's on Ringside to talk her NFL talk. Other than that, we're going to go ahead and go to Stand Above the Ropes. Ash, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being incredible.
Thanks, guys. And on my way out, I got to do a Duval. Duval's getting the win Week 1.
Right now, we need to go ahead and go to Stand Above the Ropes. So today, what I want to share with people is it's a book that I'm reading, and the name of this book is called Think and Grow Rich. And in the book, it has a quote, and I'll expound on it real quick. And it says, success comes to those who become success conscious. Failure comes to those who are indifferent and allow themselves to become failure conscious. So real quick, what I want to say to you is, don't think about the past. Be in the present right now where you are. And think of a successful mindset or something that you do within your day that's successful. Because any little success amounts to the big success. And if you can keep your mind focused on success, no matter what your reality is, how we always say, that's reality. It can be your reality right now, but reality can change if you make sure that you focus on the prize. Keep your eyes on the prize, and remember that success breeds success. So if you keep your mind focused on success, that's what you will attract into your life. If you think about failure, if you see yourself mess up, then that's okay. Always keep your mind on success. Keep an optimistic attitude. And when that happens, you will find success in your life every single turn. Remember, as long as you are looking for something, it will become apparent in your life. And so if you're always looking for success, success will come into your life. If you're looking for failure, failure will come into your life. And I want to share that with y'all.
And then, I got to second that, because my staying above the ropes is be a mastermind. That means be the master of your mind, because your eyes are the window into what you see and what you feel and what you understand. Your eyes are attached to your brain, to that machine that helps you move forward. And sometimes what we see is not the exact same thing that we should be taking in. Sometimes we have to go back into our data banks and make sure that what we know is the reality that we're actually taking in through these lenses. So Make sure you master your mind. You control that positive and negative thoughts that go in there. You control it. Don't let anybody else push that negativity into your brain. You know what you want to do. You know what you will manifest it. You know what you have meditated on. You stay positive with that and control your mind. Control your destiny. Be the master of your mind.
Be the master of your mind. Keep those words with you and apply it to this week, to this day, to this moment, every single day. We are always here to do what? To entertain you, to educate you, and empower you. So I just want to tell you thank you for joining us for another great episode of Ringside with Ray and Prince, where we look to educate you, entertain you, and empower you. Make sure that you hit that like and the subscribe button, and make sure you share this channel with the people that you care about the most. And also, we have a podcast now. So Ringside with Ray and Prince is dropping every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Spotify, on Apple, on Amazon, on Electricast, or wherever you get your podcasts. You already know.
We everywhere.
We everywhere, Ray. I know. And Ray said that we're proud to be a partner with Electricast. Well, we will be bringing you Ringside and giving you the VIP access to the biggest names business and entertainment. So we're going to talk about their best stories and the biggest lessons they've learned through their journeys as elite performers. So Ringside, the brand is growing, baby. Try and keep up. And you like we always say, Ray, what's that? We out.
Peace. Empower.
Empower y'all.
I feel like busting loose.